awesome! Watch and learn!
Hello everyone and welcome to my Gouken guide. I call him Gouken. This guide is for beginners and advanced people. Advanced people might want to skip past the normals and the specials and the ultras. Here's a list of contents that this video contains, and any terminology for real beginners that you don't understand I'll put in the video description, and I'll probably put a summary of combos in the video subscription as well. I hope you enjoy it. Some of his strengths and weaknesses first, I think. Some of his strengths are that he has easy input commands, he has great zoning with his fireballs, high damage and high stun combos, great anti-air, he has great range on his focus attack, his fireballs recover quickly, he has good mobility due to his demon flip, and he has a 1-frame reversal. Some of his weaknesses are that he is susceptible to spammed armor breakers, and he has no safe sure you can move, which links to the last point. Inability to combo off pokes, many unsafe special moves, he has a difficult time opening up crouch blockers, and has no 2-hit instant fireball. I thought I'd start the Gouken guide by mentioning his notable normals. He's got quite a few of them, but I'm going to go through them and say what they're good for. To start with, just crouch and light punch. It chains together quite well and it's good for pushing them back. You can also stop at certain points and grab, or stop and parry a attack, or wait a little bit and do a light kick demon flip, like that. The next move I want to talk about is crouch and medium punch. It hits low and can't combo into much. It's a good poke to gain some distance when they're trying to rush you down. The next move I want to talk about is standing medium punch. It's got great range and good hit stun. Fast standing medium punch can go into a medium punch palm. Close standing medium punch is your main way to hit confirm into a combo. And also, fast standing medium punch looks like the motion for Hadouken, your fireball. As you can see, he puts his arm out straight forward, just like he does with a fireball, so use it to bait people to jump in at you. The next move I want to talk about is just the close standing heavy punch. That is your main way to get into a combo if they've whiffed a move or your focus attacked them, and it links to all his specials. Crouching heavy punch is your main way of getting into a combo when they haven't whiffed a move. It does a bit less damage than the standing variation, but also comes out faster, so that's the reason why you want to use it. Here's the most common way to get into a combo is close standing medium punch, crouch and heavy punch, EX.Palm. Fast standing medium kick is a great poke, it has excellent range, you can't do anything after it, but if the enemy is crouching you will miss them. Sorry Zangief, T-Hawk and Sagat, you guys are a bit too tall to crouch underneath it. Close standing medium kick, this is your fastest normal, comes out in 3 frames, so if you dash forward after a blocked focus attack, that's what you want. It can't combo into much, but if you're in the corner you can do a close standing medium kick into fireball and repeat like this. You seem to stay in the same position, which is good for adding pressure. You probably want to employ this tactic on charge characters because they'll have a harder time getting it out. Dhalsim, he's pretty slow with all his normals, so it's a good way of keeping him from teleporting, but it is unsafe, so expect to get a sure you can in the face if you're repeatedly doing it against a Ryu or Ken or somewhat. The next move I want to talk about is a crouch medium kick. Its main use is an anti-air, that's pretty much all it's used for, but when you're crouch teching like this, if you stick a medium kick in with it, so you do this instead, it's better and more likely to hit the opponent, as it comes out in 4 frames rather than 5 of the light kick. The next move is fast standing heavy kick. It's got great range, good poke, it stuffs a lot of moves, so that's a good choice. Fast standing heavy punch, the same deal, it's got quite far range, stuffs a lot of moves, but you don't move forward. Gouken's sweep is a very good sweep. It's pretty much unpunishable because it recovers in 3 frames. Close standing heavy kick is a 2-in-1 attack. It's not used for much, but one good use for it is neutral jumpers. You can hit them out of their neutral jump. I'm going to go on to some jumping normals now. Neutral jumping heavy punch is a great way to get into your heavy punch combo, and if they're in the air it knocks them to the ground. like so. Directional jump heavy punch is a good way to get into your heavy punch combo, if it hits, that is. But I like to stick to directional jump medium kick, as it's a great crossover. If you do this, you probably want to follow up with a close standing medium punch. Directional jump light kick has very short hit stun, so you want to use this if you're jumping in and then grabbing, or for later things which I'll show. Directional jump heavy kick is an amazing move. First, you can do it from standing and hit them. Second, and if they're trying to cross you up after a block string, you can do a backwards one and knock them down. It's very good air to air. If they're trying to grab you, you can jump back and do it and hit them. And it also raises your projectile hitbox. So on this piece of footage I would have landed on the fireball, but since I did this, my hitbox went up and I didn't get hit. So the next move I want to talk about is directional jump medium punch. It's a 2-hitting move, which is good. It's a great air to air move, and if you hit with 2, you can follow it up with a directional jump heavy kick, either direction, or a neutral jump heavy punch. Because it's a 2-hitting move, you can cancel it into a air Tatsu, like so. And if you hit with only 1 hit of it, you can follow up when you get on the ground for a reset. So there are all the notable normals I wanted to discuss. I'm going to go into more detail about where specifically they're useful later in the video. So I was just giving you an overview of the normals. I'm going to go over his unique attacks. He's only got 2, if you want to call them unique attacks. He's got an overhead. It can't combo into anything. It's best to do a sweep afterwards, in case as a human opponent they stand. His next unique attack is a dive kick. At the arc of a jump you press down and medium kick. This dive kick is an overhead, although its hit stun is pretty lousy. The only way you can combo off it is if you hit their foot, so you're really close to the ground when you hit them. And it can be used to avoid wake up attacks like this Chun-Li EX spinning bird kick. The next unique attack I'm going to go on to is a Kara throw. A Kara move is when you do a move which is far reaching, it starts to come out but then you cancel it into something else. So for the example of a Kara throw, you have your normal throw, and then you use standing heavy kick which travels forward a bit, and then you do standing heavy kick plinked with your throw, and you'll travel a bit of distance like this. You can see him shimmying across the ground. A normal throw won't reach here, but a Kara one will. That's what it's good for. You can also do a Kara fireball with the same premise. Standing heavy kick, fireball, and then you plink them together. Like that. And it adds a bit of pressure while moving you across the screen. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we're on special moves now. I'm going to be talking about the basics of the special move as well as more in depth on when you should use them. If you're advanced with Gouken, feel free to skip past this section, but if you're not, let's begin. The first thing I want to discuss is his fireball. He's got a very unique fireball and they're one of his most precious assets. You can do 3 fireballs straight forward, 30-degree angle, 45-degree angle. You can charge all his fireballs for about 2 seconds, which produces a 2-hitting fireball, like so. If you don't charge for the full 2 seconds, you still only get a 1-hitting fireball. Now the main problem with his fireballs is they can be dashed through. Against aggressive opponents they can dash and you haven't got time to charge a 2-hitter. But he does have great recovery on his fireballs. You can do them at very close range and still be able to block and counter and such. Even from max range, if they jump forward over a fireball, you can dash forward and EX.Tatsu them for an anti-air. Like this. That's amazing. You want to use that if they jump forward. If they start neutral jumping over your fireballs, like this, you can hold it for a split second to alter the timing and mess them up so they hit the fireball. If you get the opponent in the corner, you have to expect them to try and get out at some point. What I like to do is at about this range, you just keep spamming fireballs at them, and when they jump you can easily anti-air them. If they try and dash through your fireballs, use standing medium punch to stop them, as it's a quick move and you may be able to poke them back into the corner. I think you should be able to do this on reaction. Remember what I said about standing medium punch, that it looks like a fireball? So don't forget to use it to bait in the jump in, like this. Now I haven't even gone on to the air fireballs. Obviously an air fireball can be used as an anti-air, and you can follow up an air fireball with a dash heavy punch palm like this. Sometimes it's hard to get depending on where they are if they're not in a corner, but you might as well try it if you remember. You have to use your own judgment here, but after a block string you could do an air fireball because people like to jump in the corner. Don't forget to always get to a safe distance after you've got them in the corner and done a combo. After you've knocked them down, charging the fireballs will result in them having to guess what direction the fireball is heading. If you charge air fireballs and release them when they're about to wake up, then they may jump into them. It's surprising how many players actually do it. If you charge an EX fireball, however, they will know what direction is coming out if they're paying attention. One forward and one at the top. To avoid it is just a neutral jump. And don't forget, an EX fireball still is only one hit unless you charge it, but most of the time you won't. So be careful about that. The next move I want to discuss is the palm strike. The Senku Go Hosha or something. Each increasing punch makes you travel further distance, with light punch keeping you on the spot. The EX hits twice and launches them for a combo, and all the normal ones just knock them across the screen. The middle of the slide animation is immune to all attacks, only the middle, not the beginning or the end, and is mostly noticeable on projectiles. Here, for example, Chun-Li's fireballs are too slow. If you wait for them to get to about the middle of the screen so you can charge, she's recovered. If you charge when she does one, you'll get hit at the end. This can also be seen on some normals such as Dhalsim's stretchy arms, and if done with the correct timing, can go through them. Your palm strikes are some of the unsafe moves that I discussed at the beginning of the video. If you do a heavy punch palm really close to someone, they will have ample opportunity to punish you. The way you counteract this is by doing only the palm that is necessary for the distance. So a heavy punch if they're really far away. This allows moves to either not reach you or not come out fast enough. For medium punch, you have to be a bit closer, but still the same principles apply. It's not an exact science. You can still be punished with really fast moves like that, so do your best to keep it safe. Okay, so now fireballs are out of the way, I'm going to talk about Tatsus, is what I call them, hurricane kicks, you know. You've got 3 variations, light, medium and heavy, and they all do extra hits, although there's no guarantee all hits will connect. The EX.Tatsu is really good. It sucks the opponent in for all subsequent attacks. It has great range, great height, invincible frames, and projectile invincibility when it connects. Whatever you do, don't do a Tatsu unless you're sure it's going to connect. Tatsu should be reserved for end of combos, anti-air, option selects, stuffing certain moves like say Fei Long's chicken wing, and if you really need a wake up option. But only if you're sure they're not going to do a crouching attack, except for maybe tall characters, you'll still get them. The next move I want to discuss is Gouken's parry. It's a 1-frame reversal. In version 2012, you have to parry in 3 areas, low, medium or high. Now this is not crouching, standing and airborne anymore, so the hitboxes that are used are shown here. So as you can see, there is no overlap with the designated areas. So if someone jumps at you, it doesn't mean you have to do a heavy punch. If they hit you on the elbow with, say, a dive kick, you have to do a medium punch. And if they hit you on the foot, you have to do a light punch. So be careful when parrying. If you're unsure, you can do an EX. Thank you to Rape and Pillage for finding that data. Any parried attack can be followed up with your super, if you are so inclined. And the EX version parries your whole body, so you don't have to guess. You can parry fireballs and punish from quite a distance. You can parry a lot of special moves. The only ones you can't parry are armor breaking special moves, like so. And don't forget, if you knock someone down on wake up, any special move is armor breaking. So you can't parry on their wake up. You can parry quite a few ultras as well. but that'll be in character specifics. There's a lot of ifs and buts with parries. I'm going to go over some now. It depends on where the opponent hits you. For here, Bison's standing heavy kick, you can parry medium if close. If far away, it doesn't work, because far away you have to parry with a heavy punch, because it hits you on the higher hitbox, like so. Another strange fact is that even though Chun-Li's Hazanshu, you have to block up. To block it, you have to parry it low. And Dudley's have a nice sweep overhead mix-up on your wake-up. Now if he gets a hard knockdown and chooses to sweep you on wake-up, you can parry low. And if he chooses to do an overhead, which you would have to block up for, you can also parry low, which is pretty cool. Some more ifs and buts are that if the attack is on the very, very edge of your hitbox, then it becomes unpunishable, like this. Not many characters have moves which allow this. Although you're supposed to be invincible when you get hit by a special move, if you get hit simultaneously by 2 attacks, the parry doesn't come out. So for example here, Akuma does a sweep and an air fireball at the same time, and so you lose. But if they're just a couple of frames out, they'll still get beat. A little trick to avoid this, but it's very hard to do, is that if you plink a medium punch parry and an EX punch parry. So here, Akuma does an EX fireball, and you do a medium punch parry or the designated normal parry, and then an EX parry afterwards, plinked. This will cancel the normal parry into an EX parry and negate 2 attacks. The next move I want to discuss with you is the demon flip, or the Gouken flip. Each varying kick makes it travel further, and the EX tracks the opponent. Out of a demon flip you have several options of moves. You can press nothing, which will result in a sweep, which is unsafe if blocked. You can press a kick, which will do a dive kick, which is not overhead. Or you can press grab to grab the opponent. They have to be on the floor for that. It's good for stuffing moves. Or you can press punch to parry a single non-armor breaking attack. Demon flips can also be used to punish people who do fireballs from the other side of the screen. An EX demon flip can be used to avoid chip damage and sometimes punish moves, like so. There are cases against this, however, such as Kami's Cannon Strike. If she does this on your wake up, your invincibility wears out, so there's no point in doing it whatsoever against the Kami. If doing this out of wake up, you can not do anything and it'll look like it's going to cross up, but it doesn't, and sweeps instead. If you choose to do a dive kick, you will be on the other side. Sometimes you can catch them. This is quite risky because if they reset you, you're in the exact same position. You should really be aware of armor breaking anti-airs with your demon flip parry. Sea Viper has one. Instead, what you'll want to do is bait that attack by changing your jump trajectory with a dive kick. Now, the next move I want to discuss is the Air-Tatsu. You travel across the screen, kicking a set distance, depending on which kick you press. The EX travels further or can be guided back and forth. If you're jumping back, that's the direction you will travel, else you will travel forward. It's good to avoid fireballs if you think you're going to jump back onto one. Against tall characters, while standing they have to block all subsequent attacks. It does high chip. If they decide they want to try and crouch, then they get hit, as it counts as airborne. Doing a near instant Tatsu out of the corner is a good way to get out, and it's also good after a blocked block string if you think they're going to try and jump away. So we're on to ultras and ultra setups now. Gouken's ultras have become a lot more accessible to use in version 2012. His first ultra is his Shin Shoryuken. It remains mostly unchanged from the previous versions. It still does quite a lot of damage. The best way to get onto it is from a back throw, although back throws have been changed. The back throws now do 1 point of recoverable health, which will scale the ultra to about 70%. The next way to get it off is from your bread and butter combo. You can do this without FADCing, but you have to be quite quick about it. Or you can FADC it. But if you FADC it, you have to wait, otherwise you'll get that. So here, instead of doing it immediately, just wait and buffer it a bit and you'll get the full animation. If you hit with a single hit of the jumping medium punch, you can do your ultra to follow. In the corner, you can do your ultra. I recommend doing it straight after the EX.Palm strike with no Hadoukens. You can do a heavy punch Hadouken, but this scales down the damage overall. The only reason I'd recommend doing the heavy punch Hadouken is if you're quite far away from the corner to begin with and you need to stabilise the opponent a bit, like so. The next way to get your ultra out is after a simple focus attack. If you dash forward, you'll be able to do it. If you dash back, it depends on how far away you are from the opponent to begin with. After a parry, you can FADC into your ultra, if in the corner. You can also do a combo somewhat like this, which FADCs a light kick Tatsu. You can also FADC an EX.Tatsu as an anti-air to do it, or a light kick Tatsu, I guess. That'll make them think twice before jumping in on you. Right, now we're on to the Denjin Hadouken. The Denjin Hadouken is a chargeable fireball. If you don't charge it, it goes across the screen slowly, does 400 stun. You can hold it for about 3 seconds, and it will do more damage than the Ultra 1, and do 800 stun. On top of that, you can also rotate the analog stick or the D-pad. I did it 4 times there to get a medium speed, or you can wiggle it more times to get the fastest speed, which is very fast indeed. You can mix these together, and also if the opponent blocks, then it still does half the stun. Fully charged, it still does 400 stun if the opponent blocks. They can't be gotten into stun if they're blocking. Even if they're maximum stun, you still have to hit them with something. And also, with this ultra, if they're on the ground when you hit them, you can do a follow-up. Most of this is from a charged one, however. You can combo into this ultra from a 2-hitting medium punch, still. However, this will count as in the air, so if you do it in the corner, where you can retaliate with a follow-up, it won't connect because they counted as in the air. You can do it off a back throw. And you can also do it off a bread and butter combo. You can do it as fast as you can and hold it for a small amount of time to get 9 hits, like that. Or if you want to be more safer, you can wait for them to drop a little bit, then do it for 8 hits. Whichever one you want. I still like to do that sometimes, to be safe. You can do it off a focus attack, if you dash back. You can also do it off a focus attack if you dash forward. And if they're near the corner, you can still retaliate because they class as being on the floor. Which is weird, because they also class as being airborne for Hakan's Ultra. A good way to do it against most characters is to anti-air them with a fireball, and then on reaction do your Denjin, fully sped up. Other ways to get into it are option selects, which I'll go on to later in a different section, but I'll give you a taste of it here. So I'm buffering this move and it auto-corrects, which is really cool. In the corner, a stun combo would be heavy punch Hadouken, light punch Palm, Denjin. You're going for stun there, I imagine, because the damage scaling is quite heavy. And last but not least is after a stun. If you manage to get a stun, you can get a fully charged Denjin. Don't do it too soon or you'll miss. And a fully charged Denjin and follow-up will be the end of the round for certain. So we're on to anti-air now. I may have gone over a couple of points briefly already. He's only got a couple of moves, but they are actually really good. His anti-air options are crouching heavy punch, crouching medium kick. You can also use an EX.Tatsu, amazing for an anti-air, 200 damage, it's great, or a light kick Tatsu. I'd refrain from using the light kick Tatsu except for people like Chun-Li and Bison with prominent air normals. Because as you can see, your crouching normals often lose or trade with the opponent. If you have the meter for an EX.Tatsu, you should use that, as the damage it does is worth the meter. A tactic to use in pretty much any fight is to use fireballs as a about a medium distance poke and standing medium punches to make the enemy to jump. And recall that even at max screen, they jump forward over a fireball, you can dash forward and EX.Tatsu them. Other anti-air options are heavy punch fireball or medium punch fireball. This can be done in a variety of ways, as explained in the fireball area. And also parry. Heavy punch parry is a pretty good option as an anti-air, providing they attack. Okay, I'm going to go over some meterless combos now. These are your main bread and butter combos that you want to employ when you have no meter. Crouching light kick to light kick demon flip grab. This can be added onto any chain of normals if you leave a small gap. The crouching light kick makes them crouch block low, so it's a good way to get them with an unexpected grab. Now this is your main bread and butter combo. It's a good hit confirm, safe because it pushes them relatively far back, and can be FADC'd later. So this is your main combo when you know it's going to hit. Off of a back throw with no meter, you just do a heavy kick Tatsu. I'm not going to go into resets here, they'll be later, so look out for that. I sometimes like to do this move to check if they're standing, to get hard knocked down. It won't connect though, so use it at your own risk. After any connected palm, you can follow up with a dash heavy kick demon flip grab. It's best used when you think the opponent's going to do a fireball, because it's over the other side of the screen. When you're in the corner with no meter, you want to put the pressure on. This is a good combo to do it. The second half obviously depends on what the opponent does, but generally you can mix it up. Okay, so EX combos now. You're probably getting sick of my voice, but I'm afraid there's a bit more to come. For EX combos, you mainly want to try and get into your EX.Palm strike. The main way to get into it is to do a close standing medium punch, crouching heavy punch straight into an EX.Palm strike. If you do the hit confirmable bread and butter that I spoke of before, you can FADC the fireball into a crouching heavy punch EX.Palm strike, like that. I think this clip is about the maximum distance allowed. And the third option is to do a standing heavy punch into the EX.Palm strike. After you've done the EX.Palm strike, you can follow up with a heavy punch palm or a dash forward heavy kick Tatsu. Now the heavy kick Tatsu does a bit more damage, but it loses momentum, whereas the heavy punch palm keeps it. So it's up to you what to choose there. The heavy kick Tatsu doesn't connect fully on certain characters, like Sakura. Instead you will want to opt for the heavy punch palm. Other characters it doesn't connect fully on are Guy, Dhalsim, Juri, and Elfuerte. However, on these characters, if you want the damage, you can always do an EX.Tatsu, as all the hits will connect. If you're crossing up, most of the combos that I've shown will work, with the exception of an FADC crouching heavy punch EX.Palm strike, as you'll be too far away for it to connect. Instead, what you might want to opt for is an FADC sweep, as it gives you a hard knockdown, and that's great. When you get an opponent into the corner as Gouken, it really lets him improve his mix-up capabilities and his pressure. If you manage to get a combo off in the corner with an EX.Palm strike, your main combos would be a heavy punch Hadouken into a heavy kick Tatsu, like this. Any way of getting into this combo is fine, and for the rest of these combos. This heavy kick Tatsu does land you quite close to the opponent when you land, and if they quick rise, it's quite close, so be careful about that. Your next combo would be a heavy punch Hadouken, light punch palm into backwards jumping heavy kick. Like I said, when you're in the corner you can apply a lot more pressure. Here's a combo which is a full block string with no meter. The demon flip at the end is optional, but do be cautious as people do like to try and get out of corners, if you hadn't noticed. Even if you mess up commands or can't get that tight block string, you can still go crazy on the opponent with medium punches and Hadoukens. Crouching medium punches might be good as they might be stand blocking, but do be cautious, it's probably good against some characters over others. A good way of opening up opponents in the corner is to utilise jumping light kick, like that. Now what happens here is the opponent has to block like you're crossing them up, and then switch their blocking back to the original way. This allows you to do a heavy punch, an EX.Palm strike, and hopefully will catch them unaware. If you get them with a grab in the corner, you can utilise this technique. So you grab them, do a light punch palm, then do the light kick crossover. The light punch palm is for timing and also it will build some meter. Even if they're not quite in the corner when you throw them, you will move forward, so we'll be able to continue. The light punch palm is not necessary, of course, and you can do whatever you want with them afterwards. This works in both corners. Likewise to the jumping light kick, another way to employ this type of tactic is to do a demon flip dive kick. This only works in the left hand corner though, and may not work against absolutely all characters. By using this in the same respects to the jumping light kick, you can add pressure on and then perform this attack. Remember, this only works in the left hand corner. So you can just go crazy on them like this and then perform it mid combo. And if they start blocking, do a heavy kick, demon flip, dive kick, and hopefully you will go on to the outside. Okay, so we're into some really good stuff now. Now we have resets. With Gouken, a reset is majoritarily used, I would say, to increase your stun and try and get a stun. If you manage to successfully get off of reset, you've probably got a stun. So off of a back throw, you can try a demon flip grab, like this. It doesn't do too much damage, but it does increase your stun a nice 400 odd, which is pretty good. If you get the opponent into the corner with a EX.Palm strike, for whatever reason, you can do a variety of resets. First one will be this. The next reset you can do is a heavy punch Hadouken jumping medium kick, but you always land on the inside with this one, so if they see it they may know that you're going to land on the other side. The next one is a simple light punch dash under, or not dash under, it depends which side you want to come out on. I found this one a bit difficult to do. Whatever you choose to follow up with is up to you. A fully charged Denjin and follow up is usually the end of the round. The reset of choice for me is this one. After an EX.Palm strike, you do a forward jumping heavy punch and then hold forward to continue walking underneath, and when they've landed, continue the combo. Or to remain on the outside, you simply don't walk underneath. You don't hold forward. This is quite good for people who would recognise that you're going to walk underneath. For Zangief and T-Hawk with very high stun, you'll have to do a bit more stun before or afterwards. And to get it to work on them, after the jumping heavy punch, you have to dash and then walk. Although, be careful when resetting grapplers, they like to mash a grapple. This particular reset has high flexibility and will stun most of the cast. So as you saw on the previous section, you can use a corner jumping light kick to remain on the outside. I think this is technically a reset. So this is a good way of getting into a full combo. You can do the jumping light kick late, so you stay on the inside, if they're aware that of what this move tends to do. You can also use jumping medium kick for the same purpose, but only in the left hand corner, the one I'm in now. In the right hand corner, it still crosses up, so I like to stick to jumping light kick because then I know what I'm getting. As you can see, the jumping light kick works, but jumping medium kick always crosses up, no matter how early you do it. As saw in the previous section, you can use a demon flip dive kick in the left hand corner for the same purpose. You can do a reset using this as well. Most of the resets so far that I've shown are in the corner because he gains most of his resets mix up in the corner. But here's one you can use in the middle of the stage. The demon flip dive kick that you see here, if done late, will be a cross up, and if done any time before that, will not be a cross up. Now by utilising these techniques that you've seen in this reset, you can easily take rounds for people who fall for it. Here's a piece of footage where I was able to take a round by just utilising 2 of these techniques. I'll walk you through it when I get there. Okay, here I get a grab in the corner, so I do a light punch palm to gain meter and timing, light kick in the corner, continue the combo, jump in heavy punch, walk under, continue the combo, get a stun, and the rest of the combos for the round, and the match actually. So yeah, from full health to none in 2 quick resets. I'm going to talk about safe jumps and safe jump setups now. If you don't know what a safe jump is, a safe jump is basically you timing your jumping attack so that you can hit them if they do nothing, and if they do a reversal, you're safe and you can block when you land. To do safe jumps, the first thing you'll need is a hard knockdown, as they're quite timing specific. There's 6 types of hard knockdown: a sweep, a forward throw and an ultra, and also a super, a demon flip grab and a back throw. I'm going to be concentrating on the first 3, as demon flip grab, they get up too soon, back throw, there's no point, and super, they get up too soon. We'll start with sweeping at the minute. After a sweep you can do a demon flip dive kick. Most of these resets are very timing intensive. You have to really get the timing within a few frames. So use it at your own risk, but they do work. Like there, for example, I leave a little gap before I jump. You see, to get the timing right. And on this one, you walk forward a little bit, so it's a crossover, and to get the timing right. When in the corner, walk forward a little bit, then neutral jump to get the timing right. Again, timing all over the place. Forward throw now. After a forward throw, you can do a dash, medium kick, dive kick. Kamis is a 4-frame reversal. This also works on 3 frames, such as uppercuts and Ryuken and such. Most of these will probably work on 3-frame reversals. You might just need to alter the timing a little bit. So here for this forward jumping medium kick, after you dash forward, you do a little walk, do a little dance. In the corner, after a throw, you dash forward, walk forward a little bit, do a neutral jump, same as before. Most of these are quite similar to the crouching, just with a dash forward in between. You can also do a safe jump after your ultra one. It's slightly awkward to do because you can't quite tell where it ends, but you have to leave a little bit of a gap there. The gap's hardly noticeable because he's got such a long recovery on his animation, but it is doable. Now I'm going to be talking about option selects. An option select is when you do a move and then input the commands for a second move during its recovery, and if they evade the first move, the second move comes out, and if they don't, you continue your combo as normal. That's my understanding. Rose is a very backdash heavy character. If she does nothing, then nothing comes out. If she backdashes, an option select comes out. Your first option select is heavy punch palm. Your second is an EX.Tatsu. All of these are coming off of a grab, dash, demon flip, safe jump. Sea Viper is the same, although she has more options. She can backdash, an EX.Tatsu will catch that. If she does a EX ground stomp, an EX.Tatsu will also catch that, which is good. And basically if she does anything else, an EX.Tatsu will catch it. So most of these are character specific. I will be leaving character specific stuff to their own individual videos, Gouken versus specific character, and we'll attach them to the end of this video via a link. There are some exceptions to the rule. I'll note one now. Cody's EX Zonk, your EX.Tatsu, as it has more invincibility frames than yours does. Teleporters now. Seth's type teleport first. You can do the previous option select, but this one is a meaty close standing medium punch followed by the option select. So when he teleports away, you can do a heavy punch palm. You can also do an EX.Palm. Both the heavy punch palm and the EX.Palm auto corrects as well. And if he tries to teleport in front of you to try and be funny, but I don't think they'll ever do that. But do beware that a close standing medium punch, meaty attack on wake up is subject to invincible reversal. So another option select you can do apart from those is a meaty close standing medium punch into Denjin Hadouken. This will work on any of these type of teleporters, Seth, Dhalsim, Bison, and it will auto correct. There's no need to charge the speed up of your Denjin. So this option select will work on teleports of this type. However, Akuma's teleport is a bit different. If you do nothing, nothing happens as usual. If he teleports away with all kick, Heavy Punch Palm will work. If he teleports to the opposite side of you with all kick, it'll auto correct and work. However, if he teleports away with all punch, it won't reach. And if he teleports behind you with all punch, it won't work because it'll count him as being too close when your move will come off. EX.Palm also works for the same reasons as before, so be careful against Akuma teleports. Denjin Hadouken also works against Akuma. He might be able to block it like that, but all you need to do if he teleports away from you, for whatever reason, is to just speed up your ultra a little bit. I only speed it up a little bit, not fully. If he teleports behind you, there's no need to speed it up, as it'll hit. And that's with both all kick and all punch. So I'm afraid that about covers my Gouken guide. I hope it was, informative. It's pretty hard to tell people how to play. I've told you all the tools. If you want to figure out how I play personally, you can subscribe to my channel. I do videos on my matches and I comment through them. I'm going to put a list of characters at the end, probably the character select screen, and I'll add links to each character as I do a little Gouken versus that character video, so it's character specific things for that character solely. I think that's all I've got to say. Go win me an Evo or something. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy it.